stormwater folks. How many here have a stormwater permit at their facility? Okay, not very many. Well, it's coming for the rest of you that have facilities. So it's building up over the years. More and more businesses will be in what they call SIC codes, will be included in the stormwater program, and eventually just about everybody's going to be included in that. But Ms. Guidance-Williams is an environmental investigator with a stormwater program. She will follow me and she will talk to you about stormwater issues and how they apply to your businesses. After that, we have Demontre Rainey, who is a special agent with the EPA. He's one of their criminal investigators here in the Houston area, and he's going to give you a little perspective from EPA side of this. An important thing to remember or to think about is states' environmental laws, especially in hazardous waste and water pollution type issues, mirror the federal law. There's a few different quirks to them, but as a general rule, they pretty much mirror federal law. So anything I'm tapping you for, you can be tapped for by the feds. Okay? So it's a thing for you to pay attention to and to deal with. After him, we're also bringing in Cynthia Williams. She's what we call the Small Business Assistance Group from the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality. Their job is to come in if a company asks to try and help companies get compliant. They bring in experts from the different fields, depending on what your problem is, and have them come over and give you a hand looking at your facilities to make corrections to help you get compliant. It's important to know that they do not talk to the regulatory side. They are a completely separate entity within TCEQ, so that they cannot talk to regulatory about your facility or anything else. They're autonomous. They've got total separation from the enforcement side so that they can help you without you being concerned. Okay? So she will be here to talk about that and what they can do for you. After that will be Roger Haskell. He is the Harris County District Attorney and Chief of the Environmental Crimes Bureau. The District Attorney's Office has 4 DAs that do nothing but environmental crime, 4 DA positions. And believe it or not, that's a lot of positions for the DA's office to have to do environmental crime. All right. Due to cutbacks right now, we're a couple of those positions are vacant, but they will be filled as soon as the turnaround in the economy comes back. But they've dedicated 4 district attorneys to doing nothing but environmental crime. That should tell you something. That prosecution-wise, they're taking a very stiff look at environmental crime here in the Houston area. All right, so just something for you to think about. And then after that, we have the Department of Health people will be here. Almeka Village will be here to talk about the wastewater issues regarding, how many power washers we have here? Okay, we have a few groups of power washers. If you transport wastewater at all, there's some permits you have to have. There are some things you have to do, and we're gonna touch on it. This is not strictly a power washing seminar. This is sort of overall, but I will touch base on different aspects of the power washing industry. If you have a question during the breaks and stuff, you see me around, just come find me. Okay, I'm more than happy to talk to you. All the guys in the back table, their registration table, are from our unit. If I've got a back line here, grab one of them and talk with them about a problem. If they can't answer it, they'll come get me and we'll deal with it. All right, but again, this is all designed to be informative for you and for you to take things back and deal with it. All right, we're going to get started in my part of this presentation. And we're going to I'm going to briefly go over the environmental laws a little bit, give you just some base stuff. The district attorney will go a little more heavy on the case law and things that have happened here in the Houston area and how they may apply to your different businesses. Illegal dumping is one of the things we have a lot of problems with here in Houston. That's everything from, tree limbs and tires on the side of the road to barrels of material, chemicals, so forth being dumped on the side of the road. The law's broken it down into several areas. Class C violation, which is like a traffic ticket. It's a ticket I can give you and send you on your way. But you look at that, and it's 5 Class B misdemeanor. That means you're going to get hooked up, put in the patrol car, taken downtown, put in jail, post bond. Okay, I can't give you a ticket. I can't give you a ticket for 6 pounds. Okay, so understand that. I don't want anybody saying, "Well, I thought I could just get a ticket for 25 pounds." Doesn't work that way. Only Class C offenses are the only ones that you don't get hooked up and taken to jail for. Class A misdemeanors, 500 to 1,000 pounds. And then a few years ago, the state came back because illegal dumping was such a problem across the state and said, okay, anything over 1,000 pounds is going to be a felony. Now, I don't know about you, but I would hate to be the guy that goes to the jail and winds up spending a couple of years in TDC with a bunch of hardcore criminals, and they sit in the room and they go, "What'd you do?" "I did a robbery." "What'd you do?" "Murder." "What'd you do?" "Illegal dumping." Do we know who the woman's going to be? I pretty much have a good idea. All right. So don't be that person. We also have a thing called commercial illegal dumping the state came out with. 5 pounds to 200 pounds. If you're doing it, if you're paid to take stuff, and our usual scenario is, I've got a trailer and a truck, and I ride around, and a guy's got a bunch of crap in his yard, needs a tree removed, whatever. I load it up on the truck and take it down the road and dump it, rather than take it to the landfill and pocket all the money the guy paid me. That is commercial illegal dumping. I was paid for it. By the same token, if you're an employee and you get paid by your company, and you're supposed to take something to the landfill and you take it down the road and dump it and pocket the money, if you give you the landfill fee to pay, and you pocket that money, even if you don't pocket the money, you just took it down the road and said, "Here, boss, I saved you some money. I got rid of it a different way," then you were being paid. That's still commercial illegal dumping. Now, the only problem is, if your employee does this, is your company on the hook? Anybody want to tell me? If he's in your company truck, on your company time, guess what? He just invoked the company into the problem. Now, if you're the boss that told him to take the stuff down the road and dump it, you're on the hook too. Okay? Sort of a food chain effect in environmental law. If you are a knowing participant or a manager or operator that authorized it to occur, then you're just as guilty as the guy that physically went out there and dumped it on the side of the road. Okay? So just be aware. And of course, it's a felony of 200 pounds or more. Now you notice the bottom of that slide says corporation. How many know that your company can be indicted? Your physical company can be indicted. That's why we say your company is on the hook for this stuff. They can bring you as the owner of your company into court to represent your company. Your company can get a separate fine. Okay? Roger will talk a little bit more about that. Now, why would a corporation fine be so terrible? Anybody have an idea? How many here have any government contracts for your company? Power washing, power wash government areas, you haul stuff for government, anything of that nature. If you get an environmental hit on your record, it can be a disqualifying factor for your employment for a government contract. So for the business owners here, that should perk you up a little bit. Something to know. You can actually be hindered with getting government contracts if you have an environmental conviction. So, my company, I want to be very, very careful. Sorry, the photos are a bit faded out. We do a lot of surveillance and things on where dumping is occurring in the city. We actually, I'm sort of like Visa. When I catch individuals that are dumping stuff, I have option plans. Option plan A is go directly to jail, do not pass go. Option plan B is a lot of times we will arrest people on site. In this case, these guys are actually refilling the truck. We watched them and take them, dumping their whole load, and they're now reloading the truck. They took option plan B, which was they are going to court over the matter for illegal dumping. And the option plan was they will reload the material, put it back in their truck, take it to a landfill the next day, and bring us back a receipt showing it was properly disposed of. And they will come into our office and bring us that receipt, and they will make a statement, which they usually make that night before we release them. And it's one of those things, you want to look like the schmuck you are, and you want to look like a repetitive schmuck. For most people that are going to court, they want to look like the repetitive schmuck and hope they get a little leniency from the court. And that's what they do. The other thing is we like to get stuff off the street as fast as we can, because what happens if you have a pile of stuff that's dumped on the side of the road? It gets more stuff. Another dumper finds it and says, yeah, this must be the place to do it. They got rid of it. And next thing you know, I call it the baby factor. We have more and more and more piles showing up around that pile that was originally there. So the faster we can get it off the road, the better off